An overflow blessings to everyone for our daily verse. We're now at Exodus chapter 34 in verse 29 up to verse 35. Moses came down from Mount Sinai carrying the Ten Commandments. His face was shining brightly because the Lord has been speaking to him. But Moses did not know at first that his face was shining. When Aaron and the others looked at Moses, they saw that his face was shining, and they were afraid to go near him. Moses called out for Aaron and the leaders to come to him, and he spoke with them. With the rest of the people of Israel gathered around Moses, and he gave them the laws of that the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. The face of Moses kept shining, and after he had spoken with the people, he covered his face with a veil. Moses would always remove the veil when he went into the sacred tent to speak with the Lord. And when he came out, he would tell the people everything the Lord had told him to say. They could see that his face was still shining. So after he had spoken with them, he would put the veil back on and leave it on until the next time he went to speak with the Lord. So due to the constant conversation of Moses to the Lord, Moses actually absorbed the presence of the Lord, and effect is the face of Moses. The face of Moses shine. So why? The face of Moses began to shine, reflecting the glory of the Lord. Also in this passage, we can read here what Moses did for him to communicate with his fellow leaders, the one who managed the Israelites. And that's why Moses put a veil unto his face, because he became fully aware that his face is already shining. Yet, if he is in front of God, of course, he removed that veil. See, that is the strategy of a leader, how he approach his co-leader and how he approach his Lord. See, that's the approach of Moses. So for Moses to approach the Lord and communicate with the Lord, he removes the veil, meaning he do it face to face, no barriers involved. But when Moses is talking with the Israelite leaders, the one who is managing the nation of Israel, he put a veil. Why? Because he became a powerful carrier of God's presence to the point that his face so began to shine, and that reflects God's glory. In other words, the Moses face, the face of Moses became a reflector, became like a mirror that reflects God's glory, to the point that it can make the Israelites leader blind because of too much brightness or too much shine on Moses' face. So for Moses to communicate with his fellow leaders, so he did what a leader must do. So he covered his face. Yes, Moses' face was covered, yet through his voice, the Israelites can still perceive God's through his voice. The Israelite can still receive God's law. You see, for us to be an effective leader, we must be also an effective communicator. So, so for Moses to communicate with his fellow elders or fellow leaders, he covered his face. You see, a good leader is also a good communicator and also a good deliverer or messenger of God. So lesson learned as a leaders, what is your approach just for you to communicate with your leader or with your member? So Moses' approach is like that. How about you? What is your approach just for you to communicate with them? Just for them to receive God's instruction.